Hi there, my name is Zenzele. Welcome to my channel Zen Aesthetic. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you clicked on this video, you're probably here to find out what my impression is of Kayali's latest release, the Boujee Marshmallow 81 fragrance. Let me just preface this by saying that I did do a first impression recording, and I'm not going to air that because this video is my actual impression. I smelled it for the first time today, and I just want to tell you what my actual impression of this fragrance is, because it didn't take me too long. I'm just saying, to figure out what my real deal impression of this fragrance is. So I first want to talk really quickly about the fragrances that I already have in my Kayali fragrance collection, before I talk about the notes of Boujee Marshmallow 81 and what my impression is. So if you're interested in any of that, keep watching. One of the first fragrances that I purchased from Kayali is the Eden Juicy Apple 01. This is that. As you can see, that is more than halfway done. I've had this fragrance for a couple of years though now, and this was not a blind buy. I purchased this based on a sample that I had got from Scentbird. When I first smelled it, I was just like, whoa, this is a lot. This is a lot. And I thought that it was almost kind of juvenile and too fruity until the day I picked this up and I really needed to smell it. And I was hooked. I was just like, oh my God, this is such a happy making fragrance. It's so rejuvenating. It's sweet. It's the note of apple is somewhat addictive to me. I just thought that this was very well done. I think that this is very well done and would definitely recommend it for anyone who loves a good, juicy apple note fragrance. Would I repurchase this? I'm not absolutely certain. I'll know when I finish it. But I do sort of wear this only when it is the summer and spring months. This is something that I don't reach for in the winter time. Second fragrance that I picked up from Kayali was a blind buy. This is the Eden Sparkling Lychee fragrance. I think this is number 39. And I love the color of this bottle. I think I look at it and I think lychee immediately. This was not a fragrance that I absolutely love, though I do like it a lot, and will definitely be revisiting also for the spring and the summer months because I think it's a good fragrance for that time. I don't regret having it, but as you can see, I don't reach for it very often. Don't hate it, but it wasn't like a big love for me. I like it. I think it's just maybe not lychee is not so much a note that I gravitate towards in fragrance. It's not to say that I don't think this is a great fragrance for anyone who likes lychee. I would definitely recommend. This again is Kayali's Eden Sparkling Lychee, number 39. So the next fragrance that I picked up from Kayali is her The Wedding Silk Santal, and this one I believe is 36. This is from the very first release, and this was a blind buy. So I was so impressed by this fragrance. I kind of thought all the other fragrances that followed were going to be like this. This is a very unique, sort of warm, fruity, slightly boozy, vanillic, musky fragrance. And I absolutely freaking love it. I'm keeping this bit of juice for commemorative purposes. I really don't spray this anymore since I picked up a 50 ml from the very first re-release where we broke the Sephora website. And so this is what that looks like. You can already see the big dent in this as well. And I just want to show you the comparison of the juice color between this latest one and this one, which is over a year old now and smells so freaking good. If you are someone who purchased the Wedding Silk Santal in the first release and you still have a little bit of this juice, you know what I'm talking about. I generally feel like Kayali's fragrances that I love macerate very well. So again, the Wedding Silk Santal, absolutely love. Next fragrances I want to talk about are from the Kayali Oudgasm line. These were the first fragrances that I ever smelled with oud in them. This was my introduction to oud. So initially I had picked up Oudgasm Vanilla and Oudgasm Tobacco, which I ended up decluttering because I liked it, but I didn't love it. It wasn't something that I was going to reach for to wear. I do believe I sold it on my Mercari site. So Oudgasm Vanilla number 36 is one of the first oud fragrances that I've ever smelled that I really, really liked. And it's not one that I reached for to wear out, but the dent is right down here. I don't know if you can see it. I reached for this a lot just to smell, just to sniff the atomizer, just to spray on myself and walk around. It's just, I don't know, like the vanilla in this, especially now since it's sat and macerated more, it's just so good and warm and cozy, and the smokiness of it is sensual and just really, really nice. I definitely think I will probably repurchase this once this is done, but I want to be more intentional about actually wearing it out. And the other fragrance, the most recent fragrance that I picked up from Kayali's Oudgasm line is the Oudgasm Rose fragrance. And that's this one. This actually reminds me of a Middle Eastern treatment of rose that I've smelled in incenses that I really, really love. So for me, it's familiar. And it's also one of the first rose fragrances that I discovered that I love. And this was the very first one. And yeah, I love this fragrance. Again, it's up here right now because I haven't had it as long as I've had vanilla oudgasm, but I definitely love having this in my collection, and I just really had my eye on it once I sampled it, because I did do a video of a bunch of small vial samples that I picked up from the Kayali website just to see and test fragrances that I'd heard about from Kayali and some that I was curious about. And this was one of my top fragrances. So these two, the vanilla oudgasm and rose oudgasm, are my two favorites from Kayali's Oudgasm line. The cafe one, I think I might have tried it out in a Sephora. I don't remember my feelings about it, but these two are definitely my favorites. So the next fragrance I want to talk about is Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. This is number 42. This is one of my favorite freaking bottles that Kayali has designed. I just think it's so freaking pretty. Again, very much in alignment with the candied notes of this fragrance, the pear, the violet. It's also got bubblegum, white caramel. It's got vanilla cream, of course. And I think that this is the first fragrance that I've picked up from Kayali that has the Kayali signature accord in the base notes. I just love this fragrance. I just love it. For some, it was not a hit. It was not what they were expecting. It wasn't what I was expecting either, but it ended up really working well in this fragrance, in my opinion. Again, Kayali's Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar. So lastly, from Kayali's Vacay in a Bottle set of 4 fragrances. So my 2 favorite fragrances from this set were Maldives in a Bottle, Ylang Cocoa. And as you can see, this is almost done. And this has very unique notes of sage and lemon at the top, if I recall, which I absolutely love. Are not necessarily going to be for everyone, but I freaking love this so much. And then Maui in a Bottle, Sweet Banana. Another fragrance I absolutely love because I am such a fan of banana blossom and a nice, sharp, sweet banana note. This transports me to an island every single time I smell it. So these two from the Vacay in a Bottle set were my favorite. I actually got a second bottle of Maui in a Bottle because, you know, this is where we at, and I cannot live without this fragrance. I would love to have full bottles of this. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but until then, I'll just have to keep purchasing second and third bottles of these two fragrances. So here is my second bottle of Maui in a Bottle, Sweet Banana. Absolutely love these so much. And yeah, these were really, really great for the summer months when she released them. And again, full bottles. I would really love full bottles of these two fragrances. I'd like full bottles of the entire line, right? Everybody should get a full bottle. Full bottles of Vacay in a Bottle for everybody. So this brings us to Kayali's latest release in the Yum line, which begins with the Yum Pistachio Gelato fragrance, one that I was not a fan of. This is the Yum Boujee Marshmallow fragrance. This is 81. So these are the new boxes that Kayali's fragrances are going to be released in. Just want to show you one of the old boxes that Kayali's fragrances used to be released in. I love these way, way more. They're sturdier. This is how they open. There's cushion in here for if you like to travel with full bottles of fragrance. It really keeps the fragrance just sort of like safe in travel, and it doesn't allow the bottle to shake around a lot. But according to Kayali, the replenishment of fragrances was very difficult, I think, for the assembly line to put these together. And these are just much easier. This is what I'm hearing from her IG social media. But I'm really glad that I've kept all of the boxes that I've gotten my 50 mils in, because I just think these are better, nicer to look at, sturdier, more useful. I think that there were changes in the bottle design as well that she mentioned. So here is the bottle of Yum Boujee Marshmallow. Very nice. Not unlike the one for Yum Gelato. I really loved that bottle and I love that color as well. But like I said, I wasn't a fan of the fragrance, so I never purchased it. This looks pretty identical, actually. I thought that she mentioned that the bottle design had changed as well, but I'm not seeing anything that looks immediately distinctive between these two bottles. So I think the bottle design is still the same, which I'm happy about because I really love this bottle design. So reading off of Kayali's website, the notes, or rather the key notes of Yum Bougie Marshmallow, are strawberry, pink marshmallow, and whipped vanilla. The scent type is warm and gourmand. And the top notes are pink lady apple, Italian lemon, freesia, nectarine blossom. The middle notes are orange blossom water, pink marshmallow, strawberry, and coconut flakes. The dry notes are whipped vanilla, raspberry sugar, pink musk, ambrox, and Kayali's signature accord. Let me just spray it again. It's still on this. It smells a little better since the last time that I smelled it. And I also want to mention that there's a bit of what I pick up at the top, a little bit of alcohol, which I've never gotten from any of the other Kayali fragrances that I've talked about in my collection so far. But that goes away quickly and gives way to a emphasized strawberry note, which for me was the only concern that I can tell you I had about smelling this fragrance, because I haven't smelled a fragrance yet with a strawberry note in it that I like. So the strawberry in this, it's okay. It's not great. It's not terrible. It's okay on the cotton round. It's airy. It's sweet. It's fluffy. But the problem for me with this fragrance when I spray it on my skin is I get less nuance, less complexity, not much of any of the other notes that are mentioned in this fragrance. Even the marshmallow is not as marshmallowy as, say, the marshmallow in Fleur's Heavy Cream or in Lost in a Dream. I think Lost in a Dream has some marshmallow in it. Or in Commodity Milk. It's, mm, yeah, this whiff is giving a little bit of synthetic on my skin, which is not great. Like, it's not like horribly off putting or terrible, but it is definitely not living up to, say, Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, in my opinion, or even Yum Pistachio Gelato, which I wasn't crazy about, but which it there's no mistaking the projection of Yum Pistachio Gelato. This is questionable. I don't really know the direction that it's going. I don't fully get a sense of it beyond this sort of like synthetic smell, the strawberry, and some marshmallow on my skin. And I mean, it could just be my skin. It could just be my skin. But even on the cotton round, Cotton Round's a little better. But overall, I'm not impressed by this fragrance the way that I wanted to be. And I feel like this would have been an easy hit out of the park for Kayali, and it hasn't been, in my opinion. Now, I only smelled this today for the first time. This is my second time spraying it. Like I said, I did record a first impression and I just decided to record again because I just wanted to give you as honest an opinion of this fragrance as I could. I sprayed it on myself. I sprayed it down. I oversprayed. And I cannot say that I'm getting much longevity in the wear. It has been at least half an hour now since I filmed the first impression, and I'm just not even getting a sense of it like in the air, you know? So, yeah, like I really don't think this is a fragrance that anybody needs to run out and get, that you need to add to your collection, or that if you are a Kayali fragrance fan like me, that you need to get to add to your collection. That's my opinion. It's not an awful fragrance. It's just nowhere near what I expected. I really feel like if I was to recommend a really, really great, fluffy, sugary, candy fragrance for me, from what I have in my collection, Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar is still that girl for me. This fragrance is giving what this fragrance should be giving. I'm not really sure if it's the strawberry note that's just off in this. Like, even smelling the atomizer, like, there isn't a whole lot of projection from this. And one way or another, strawberry or marshmallow, even though there's all these other notes in this fragrance, which I'm not picking up at all, I would have been fine if it was like a punch in the face of powdery marshmallow, fluffy marshmallow and strawberry and a little bit of the coconut flakes. But it's not even that. I really kind of feel like this missed the mark. Um, if, in the days to come, if I don't return this, because I'm not really sure it's worth me having this if I don't feel like I'm going to really wear it. If in the days to come it gets better, or I feel like the notes develop differently on my skin, I will definitely report back and let you know. At this time, I just feel like this is a little bit of a dud. It's not anywhere near what I feel that it should be for a great Kayali fragrance, or even for like a really good Kayali fragrance, in my opinion. So if you were interested in knowing what this smells like, definitely go sniff a sample at a Sephora or wherever you go to get fragrances before you buy. I don't really regret purchasing it. I did want to see what it smelled like. Again, the jury's out on whether or not I will actually keep this fragrance in my collection, but we'll see. I will let you know. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't as yet and you enjoy content like this. Don't forget to thumbs up my video as well if you liked it. It really helps my channel to grow. Thank you so much to you guys for subscribing and liking my videos so far. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope to see you in my next video soon.